Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. The Curse of Oak Island. The team finds gold in the side of the garden shaft. On this week's The Curse of Oak Island, the team detected a large quantity of gold in the wood on the side of the garden shaft. There was both disappointment and excitement during last night's episode. There was frustration when the borehole drill team went in search of a tunnel or void they had previously encountered at 55 feet. Borehole number DN 10.5 seemed to show such promise when it began pulling up loose soil, indicating there may be a structure nearby. However, after digging down to 120 feet without hitting any voids or tunnels, they concluded they must have missed it this time. And there were more glum faces after the Dumas Mining Company finished their probing project, having found nothing. Dumas had drilled into all four walls of the garden shaft at 55 feet, hoping to find a void or chamber. But sadly they got nothing. However, fortunes can change quickly on Oak Island. Metallurgy expert Emma Culligan had been tasked with analyzing a piece of wood taken from the side of the garden shaft during Dumas's drilling operation, and she had a surprise for the team. There's gold in the wood of the garden shaft. Within the wood, Emma detected quite a lot of gold. She said that 0.11% of the wood was gold. This may not sound like a big number, but geoscientist Dr. Ian Spooner said, "This is huge." Emma assured everyone that it was a lot of parts per billion. Rick and Marty Lagina were absolutely thrilled with the news. Emma got a round of applause, and suddenly the frowns were turned upside down. Ian knew exactly how to proceed. He recommended that they keep drilling, keep taking samples, and sooner or later, they will narrow things down to the location of the treasure. Meanwhile, on Lot 26, near the well that dates as far back as the 10th century, the guys had been examining an unusual old wall. The team was joined by forestry technician Peter Romke, who set about retrieving a core from the massive oak tree that was growing out of the wall. The core was sent to the lab to be dated, but Peter already estimated that the tree must be hundreds of years old. The team believes the wall predates the tree, so when they have the tree's age, they'll also have the minimum age of the wall. The mysterious wall on Lot 26 is throwing up surprises. The wall is different from others found on the island because of the technical skill used in its construction. It was clearly built by someone who knew what they were doing. Peter is also a bit of an expert on walls, and he theorized that the stones used for its construction may have been debris from tunneling. He saw the wall as a good way to hide evidence of tunneling. As the guys began dismantling the wall, looking for clues, they noticed that a lot of the rocks had been cut or sliced from other rocks. These rocks were red granite, which led Alex Lagina to recall that the Kingdom Stone from Nolan's Cross is also red granite and had been cut from another stone. This all led them to wonder if the wall was built by the same people who constructed Nolan's Cross. One theory has argued that the cross was built by Templar knights and may act as a marker for buried ancient Christian relics. Also on last night's episode, metal detectorist Gary Drayton, aided by Rick, found an axe head on Lot 4. They need to do more testing on the artifact, but Gary speculated that it could date all the way back to the Viking era. A Viking axe would be hugely significant. A few months back, the team found another artifact on the nearby Lot 5, which one expert said could be Viking in origin. That piece featured ancient symbols which were commonly used by Vikings. On a misty morning, the sun barely visible through the dense fog, the Oak Island team gathered around the garden shaft with a mixture of anticipation and trepidation. They had been digging for months, fueled by rumors and ancient legends of buried treasure that had captivated adventurers for centuries. The garden shaft, an innocuous name for what had become a site of feverish activity, was their latest hope. It had yielded clues before, an old coin here, a fragment of a map there. But today the air was electric with the sense that something monumental was about to happen. Rick Lagina, the elder statesman of the group, stood at the edge of the shaft, his face lined with determination. His younger brother Marty was beside him, a skeptic turned believer by the myriad of discoveries they had made. Jack Begley and Alex Lagina, ever the eager explorers, busied themselves with the final preparations, double-checking the ropes and the machinery that would lower them into the depths. As the team descended into the shaft, the walls of earth and rock seemed to close in around them. The dim light from their headlamps cast eerie shadows, making the descent feel like a journey into the heart of the island's mysteries. They reached the bottom, where the ground was damp, and the air was thick with the scent of earth and decay. Marty's voice broke the silence, his tone pragmatic but hopeful. "We've followed the clues to this point. If the legends are true, we should be close." Rick nodded, pointing to a section of the wall where the soil seemed different, softer. That's where we need to dig." With pickaxes and shovels, they began to excavate the indicated area. The work was arduous, but their spirits were high. They had been here before, but today felt different. Each clump of earth they removed seemed to whisper secrets from the past, urging them on. After what felt like hours, Jack's shovel struck something solid. The metallic clang reverberated through the shaft, freezing everyone in place. Hearts racing, they carefully cleared the soil away, revealing a small, intricately carved wooden box. Rick's hands trembled as he pried the box open. Inside, nestled among old cloth that had long since decayed, were gold coins, each bearing the mark of a bygone era. The team's collective gasp echoed in the confined space. It was real. The gold was real. For a moment, time seemed to stand still. The gold coins glittered in the dim light, tangible proof of the island's legendary treasure. Rick held one up, its weight a confirmation of their success. "We've done it," he whispered, his voice choked with emotion. But the discovery was just the beginning. As they continued to explore the garden shaft, they uncovered more artifacts. A jeweled dagger, a tarnished goblet, and an ancient scroll written in a language none of them recognized. Each item added to the growing sense that they had stumbled upon something far greater than mere treasure, perhaps the remnants of a long-lost civilization. The team carefully cataloged each find, their excitement tempered by a deep sense of responsibility. They knew that their discovery would not only change their lives, but also rewrite the history of Oak Island. The implications were staggering. Above ground, the news spread like wildfire. Experts and historians flocked to the island, eager to study the artifacts and piece together the story behind them. The garden shaft, once a simple excavation site, became the center of a whirlwind of activity and speculation. Despite the chaos, the Oak Island team remained focused. They knew that their journey was far from over. The gold coins and artifacts were clues, pieces of a larger puzzle that they were determined to solve. They continued to dig, driven by the hope that there was still more to discover. As the days turned into weeks, they uncovered more chambers and hidden passages, each filled with treasures and mysteries. The garden shaft, it seemed, was just the entrance to a vast underground network, a labyrinth that held the secrets of Oak Island's past. The deeper they delved, the more they realized that their discovery was not just about wealth. It was about uncovering a forgotten history, a story of explorers and settlers who had come before them, leaving behind clues for those brave enough to follow. The gold was a symbol of their perseverance, a testament to the human spirit's unyielding quest for knowledge and adventure. In the quiet moments when the digging ceased and the island was still, Rick would often stand at the edge of the garden shaft, looking out over the landscape that had become his life's passion. He thought about the generations of treasure hunters who had come before him, and those who would come after. They were all part of a continuum, connected by a shared dream and the timeless allure of Oak Island. The curse of Oak Island, some said, was that it consumed those who sought its secrets. But for Rick, Marty, Jack, and Alex, the true curse would have been never to have searched at all. As they stood together, bound by their discovery and the promise of more to come, they knew that they had found something far more precious than gold. A sense of purpose, a connection to the past, and a bond that would last a lifetime. And so, the Oak Island team continued their quest, digging deeper into the island's mysteries, uncovering its treasures one layer at a time. With each discovery, they felt a step closer to unraveling the enigma of Oak Island, their spirits buoyed by the gold they had found in the side of the garden shaft, a beacon of hope and a promise of even greater discoveries yet to come.